What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you're all having a terrific day. Exile 451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. For those of you in the States, welcome back to the work week. Going to a sub today that I have come to really love recently, r/DecidingToBeBetter, for some stories that I know you're going to love and most likely will probably relate to pretty well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I have changed so much, and it's almost scary. My long but motivating story. I was a troubled child. I spent 11 months in juvenile detention between ages 16 to 17 after being addicted to gaming and refusing to go to school. I was verbally abusive towards my mother and physically fought with my dad on a regular basis. I was diagnosed with all sorts of things: ADHD, ADD, Asperger's. They didn't know what my problem was and tried to throw pills down me to fix me. I used this as an excuse to do nothing with my life. After juvenile detention, I calmed down a bit, but the gaming addiction was still there. I was still using my diagnosis as an excuse to not succeed. I even dropped out my senior year of high school. By the time I was 30 years old, I had reached almost 300 pounds and was extremely lazy. I'd do only approximately 500 steps a day, and that was for bathroom breaks and food. I played games, mostly World of Warcraft, for 12 to 16 hours straight every day, while sleeping 12 hours every night. My sleep schedule changed every day. For around 15 years, I had no real purpose, and real life didn't seem to matter at all to me. Over the years, I increasingly started to feel like crap, both mentally and physically. I was depressed and took it out on everybody around me. Gaming was no longer filling the void, and I was debating suicide because nothing made me happy anymore. Instead of seeking more doctors that would throw more pills down my throat, I decided to go a different route. The first step of my journey is so major, yet seems so small. I decided to get contacts and get rid of my glasses because they drove me absolutely insane. I hated how they felt and looked. They killed my confidence. I finally could look in the mirror and see a tiny glimpse of something I liked. Shortly afterward, I found the confidence to shave my head and grow a beard, completely changing my look. I was balding at 30, but now many people were saying I looked very handsome and looked about 10 years younger. Next, I decided to lose the weight. I joined MyFitnessPal and started tracking what I eat and getting daily exercise with an elliptical. I was too scared to go to a gym, so I'd use it about 30 minutes a day and eat about 1,500 calories. A very hard year and a half went by, but I stuck to my goals and I lost 120 pounds. I needed a new healthy hobby to fill my time, so I bought a cheap hybrid bike. Within a couple months, I was doing 40 to 60 miles a day and really enjoying myself. I wore the bike out quickly and ended up spending a few thousand on an expensive road bike. Never in a million years would I have ever thought I'd do this instead of building a new gaming computer. Since buying the road bike, I have done roughly 4,600 miles this year. I biked across the state of Iowa during Rag Break. I have done multiple double Grand Fondo, 130-mile rides. I get a sense of purpose that I never got from gaming. However, I still had almost no friends. And I had no idea how to meet new people, especially since I hated approaching strangers. I started going to clubs and bars by myself until I got better at it. This was so hard, and I felt so awkward. I regretfully fell into the bar crowd and ended up getting drunk almost every single night for about 3 months straight. Although I somehow never stopped exercising during this period because I felt the need to work off the beer calories. But it was very counterproductive and my fitness started to decline. I realized I had to make a choice between the two, and I made the right one, but I lost almost all my new friends in the process. I have been sober 4 months and took up running and swimming to help replace my drinking habits. I completed my first triathlon shortly after, and I'm currently training for a half Ironman. I also did something the old me would deem unheard of. I bought a Kindle and started reading books at night, instead of going out and wasting money and time on unhealthy hobbies. Many of my new friends don't know what to think, but that's okay. The good ones stuck around and the bad ones have faded away. An ultimate test of my new life happened this week, which prompted me to make this post. World of Warcraft Classic released. If you remember above, this game was the bane of my existence and they just had to re-release it 15 years later. I paced around my house the day it came out, biting my nails, ultimately caved and bought it. For about 4 days, I didn't meet any of my other goals and fell back into my old habits quickly. However, I could only manage about 4 to 5 hours a day before getting bored. Something wasn't right. It wasn't the same. By the 5th day, I was getting bored very quickly and have since canceled my subscription. The game now sits there while I just got back from the gym and sat down to continue reading a book instead. Everything about me has changed. Physically, mentally, what I like, where I live, friends, you name it. It can be scary at times. I don't really know why I'm posting this, but I just wanted to share my journey. Oh my gosh. World of Warcraft. Man, that takes me back. Oh yeah, I played back in the day. I quit back in 2008 largely for many of the same reasons, and I noticed huge improvements in my life once gaming started to really take the back burner. That's when I started to really get into shape, and I was able to reprioritize so many things. So OP, I can really relate with this on a very personal level. But it's so good to hear that you've been making this kind of progress, that you've actively chosen to change your life to this degree, and 120 pounds in about 18 months? Dude, that's incredible. That's insanely good. Congratulations, keep it up. You're doing great there. But more than anything else, you show that it's possible to change, that you don't need to rely on being the old you, that whatever you want to do, you can do. There is nothing holding you back except for your own mind. Thank you so very much for sharing your journey, and I'd really love to hear more about how your life's going. This was something great to open up with, and I am so appreciative that you did. My mental health journey. 2 years ago, I was slowly overtaken by depression. I was staying in all weekend and constantly trying to play catch up on my schoolwork. My libido dropped down to 0 along with my sense of self-worth. 1 year ago, I landed my dream internship. Imposter syndrome and a constant sense of numbness made it impossible to appreciate. The loneliness from leaving my friends behind only made me spiral harder. I thought all the people trying to become friends with me secretly hated me, and my defensiveness made others uncomfortable. 8 months ago, despite being asked to return to my dream job after graduation, my depression reached a head. Visiting my best friend and my family didn't even give me temporary reprieve. I couldn't stand to look at myself in the mirror. I found myself visiting the tank of nitrogen I planned to kill myself with. I knew this was unsustainable, but I didn't know how to change it. 5 months ago, I'm still constantly behind in my work. I almost never finished school assignments and do the bare minimum to graduate. My friends take me shopping for graduation clothes. I put on a dress that made me feel like a pixie, with my unwashed hair in a perma bun. I almost look elegant. I don't buy any dresses that day, but I do get a pair of trendy shorts I feel really excited about. I wear it to go out with my friends, and for the first time in years, I feel like just another human, like an equal who has value. It only lasts a day, but I realize my life could be better. I book an appointment with a school psychiatrist, and I finally have hope. 3 months ago, the Lexapro I was prescribed is beginning to kick in. I recently found a CBT workbook and am making time twice a week to work through it. I keep a log of my automatic thoughts and begin challenging the thought patterns keeping me down. I meet a guy through a friend group I skimmed the edge of. We danced, he piggybacked me through the city streets, and I fell asleep cuddling with him. He later rejects me, but I feel okay. I'm finally stable enough to like someone more than they like me, and still like myself afterwards. I'm excited to find someone who will like me back, and I feel hope again. Now, I'm back at my dream job. I recently got 3 new projects, and I feel valuable. Looking back at the work I did over my internship, I realize I was a really hard worker. I understand my place on the team, and I feel proud of myself. I found the most amazing housing, sharing a house with the sweetest elderly lady. We share dinner at least once a week and talk constantly. I found kinship with several other neighbors through dog sitting, gardening, and just stopping by for a chat. I threw a housewarming party, and many of my neighbors helped me prep, brought food, and helped clean up afterwards. I feel at home. I meet an incredible guy after a series of Bumble dates. He has really similar values to me. He cooks amazing food, is funny, and is passionate about doing nonprofit work. After 2 years of hating myself and not even getting turned on, I never thought I'd find myself enjoying 45-minute makeout sessions and surprise kisses in the park. I finally feel worthy. Fixing my mental health has been a long, painful process, but it's worth it, because I'm worth it. I never think a relapse is impossible, but I find myself living much more in the present. And right now, I feel hope. Well, OP, that is a great and inspiring story, and it just goes to reiterate the point that you never know where you're going to be 2 years from now. Life can radically change. You can do amazing things in that very short amount of time, if you're willing to face the demons that are holding you back. And it seems like you have. You went through a channel, through a method that was best for you, and it's worked out wonderfully. Not that this would be the same method for everyone else, but yours is definitely an example that there is hope. You don't have to remain a slave to mental illness, to depression, to anxiety, to any of that. You don't need to consider taking the easy way out. There is always going to be a better day, even if you can't see it right now. I'm so grateful for you sharing your story, for you opening up about things that are probably extremely personal to you, and for just giving hope to other people out there. Thank you so much, and seriously, keep updating. Let people know how your life's going, because it sounds like you've really turned a corner, and I know hearing constant updates about how it's possible to fix your life could really help others in a similar situation. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I truly appreciate all of you coming to the channel as often as you do, for watching these videos, and for all the support that you've given it. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit happy. Now you go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.